Welcome along to the EXFL Tier 2 Season 7 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're here for round 22 out of 22, the finale. The titles have both been decided, both in the drivers and constructors. We've got one more race left. We're going to have some fun. I am F1 Union, your main commentator for tonight, and back in the commentary box is Bramley at Lang, last season's world champion, crowned right here at Yas Marina. Bram, how are you tonight?
I'm pretty good, really grateful to be back after being out for 2 weeks. So yeah, happy to be here. Season finale, always fun to watch. Hopefully you have a race on our hands.
It is indeed. We don't have everything decided. There are quite a few places in the standings still to be decided, as Josh Hewitt, like most of the time this season, is out first on the medium compound tyres. We have 16 drivers. I'm just going to quickly get the standings up soon. But yes, we'll take you through all 16. Optic then in the Alpine reserving for James, who's not racing tonight. Frosty Life hopes to end the season off well in the Aston on the softs. For probably the first time I've seen all season, he's not heading out on a different tyre other than the softs. Vortex then, one of the two debutants tonight. His name is Scott, and hopefully he will have a good race. Reserving for both Williams, Marine and Lightan, after getting a 1-2. Williams' first ever 1-2 in EXFL Tier 2 last time out at the first ever Las Vegas Grand Prix. They are both not racing tonight. They will return next season. So yes, Vortex making his debut. A friend of Lightan, so he decided why not hop in his car. Ollie then, last race in Tier 2 for Ollie before he goes up to Tier 1. It's been a magnificent season for him. Recently, it hasn't been the greatest run of form, but he's made his mark on Tier 2 in a very impressive way. He owns the record for the most fastest laps in the season. He's had his wins, lots of podiums, and we wish him farewell and good luck for one final race in EXFL Tier 2. And then the world champion, ETE Frozen. He's had the best Tier 2 season that any Tier 2 driver can wish for, and he heads out now for one final time. He's been the master of qualifying, 14 poles to his name. No other driver has got more than one this season. They've all been a surprise wonder, but can anyone challenge Taze? Can anyone get a second, or will it be Taze for the 15th time this season on pole position? And his teammate Cal, after wrapping up the Constructors' Championship with Taze last time out, they lead by 44 points. There were 44 points on offer, but due to McLaren's more wins than Alfa Romeo, they have sealed it. They are the first team, the first entity in Tier 2 to win more than once, and it's the Constructors in Season 2 and Season 7. Josh Hewitt then hopes to get that podium he's been wanting all season. Fourth is the best finish he has had. He had it in Brazil. Drifting, happy birthday Drifting. It is his birthday, and at the moment he's out on track on the Inters in his Alpine. He's been on really good form lately, so let's hope he can end the season on a high. AFC Callum heading in to turn 5 on the softs in the Ferrari. He will be staying there next season, as the grid for next season will be revealed after the season in a couple days' time. Callum H in the Red Bull, about to start his lap. It's been a solid debut season for the Red Bull. Nathan reserving in the Williams, in the pits currently. Luigi, after that blistering qualifying lap he did last week to put that Ferrari second, he'll be open for more. Currently P12, so Josh sets the pace, 23.2. Oren just heading out the pit lane now. He's had a really good debut season for Mercedes, getting those great points, making a name for himself as one of those people we all love to see do well. And the second debutant, Aubrey Noir, his name is Will. Quite ironic, but still, we hope Will has a good debut in that AlphaTauri. I'll pretty much call him that because I can't pronounce his gamer tag. And 41 thousandths between Frosty and Josh. Final two then, Ben 94 in his final Tier 2 race as well. Will hopefully have a good final race as he's sealed second in the drivers' standings. And then ETE Logan, he's probably got the biggest job to do today. He sits fourth in the drivers' standings. Lightan ahead of him and Chaz behind him are not racing tonight. Logan needs P5 tonight to get third in the standings. Now, 9 drivers already with lap times. Let's see what everyone else can do. Ollie finishing set to 1, 17.4. Frozen, 52.8 for set to 2. Drifting on the Inters. Callum about to finish his lap then, as we've got Nathan and Logan in the pits. Oren on his outlap, so we'll see Callum round the final corner then. A 23.1 is the time to beat, as the pole it will probably be in the mid-22s. And there we go, Callum with a slide out of the final corner is the first car into the 1 minute 22s. So we'll see what Drifting can do as he crosses the line. He goes P11. Not really too much of a shot there. Frozen, a little bit of a twitch there, but he goes fastest by nearly half a second. Mid-22 then. And that's his banker done. What about Ollie then? Is he getting held up, or is he having to back off into the middle sector? 53-0. Couple tenths off Frozen then. As Oren has begun his lap and already gone off. As Drifting makes his way through the most technical part of the circuit, Sector 3. You have to nail these laps as he's got an Alpine in front of him. Could cause him a bit of traffic, a bit of dirty air that could get in his way. It seems like it's the Alpine of Vortex as he heads through the final couple corners. Now the Alpine pulls off, so Ollie round the final corner. It's a tricky one to get back onto the power, but he comes across the line just within validation. 3 tenths off Frozen.
As we see drivers completing their laps, our debutant of Vortex down in P8, but he did have a massive moment, but surely cost him half a second, so I would not count him out of contention just yet.
Oh, indeed, I'm just getting the standings now. As yeah, that's 13 out of 16 drivers. Ollie spins. Oh dear. Yeah, oh dear.
Oh.
So that's the exit of 5. It is a hard, typically kind of average exit of a corner that you can mess up. But most of the time you should be fine, but you never know. Even the top guys could mess it up. As he heads through the infamous straight now, this infamous camera angle.
Oh no.
That saw a certain crash, what was it, last season, a year ago? I've forgotten now.
Season 5.
Okay, a year ago, okay. So
we're
Logan,
not going to talk about it.
Still in the pit lane, Nathan on his outlap. Oren crosses the line, 11 seconds off the pace after his spin. Right here on the last minute and a half ago, as we got a yellow. Is that Ollie?
Ollie just almost touched the wall.
Alright then. So yeah, Ben, unless Logan wins and gets fastest lap and Ben doesn't score, Ben has second in the standings. So yeah, Logan would have to get maximum points to get second in the championship, but at the moment third is what he's focusing on, as Ollie's giving a bit of a... the donuts are after this race, mate, not now. So yeah, we'll also be streaming that after the interviews. So yeah, those are the first times on the board then. 10 minutes 50 to go. What else? So both Alfa Romeos aren't racing. Chaz will be going to Tier 1 next season. Ollie's spun in the pit lane. Don't reverse, you'll get disqualified, Ollie.
He reversed.
Here we go. There we go. Ollie on 157. Unless he wins, he can't get any higher than where he is 7th at the moment. Callum has confirmed 8th. Josh on 69 points. Armano on 59 points. Marine on 43. Callum in P3 on 30. James on 27. So Oren needs 2 points as he goes up to 9th to get those 2 points at the moment if he was to finish where he is at the moment to go above James. Sin Icon not racing, he'll be on 25 at the end. Chazmeister not racing, he'll be on 24 as ET Frozen goes even quicker by another 10th. So that's his second run done. We've got Alex on 20 points, so he would need 5 to get ahead of someone. Callum on 12, so he would need 8. Luigi on 10 points, he's racing tonight, and Warren 20th with 0 points. He had his chance last time out in Vegas, but unfortunately a collision with Frozen sent him out of the points, and he isn't racing tonight, so he will end this season pointless, as Frozen for the first time this season finished a race outside the points. He'll be back here in Abu Dhabi already on the pace as he goes across to get to the pit sooner, wasting no time, as I'm trying to find someone who's just started their lap so you can take us through it. Bram, can you find anyone? We got Drifting,
Callum.
Birthday Boy.
Oh, Drifting, okay.
Heading through the final couple corners now. Here we go then, round the final corner. Take us through this lap then, Bram, as Josh Hewitt goes P2.
Okay, Callum, not the best last corner, so not the best exit for the Birthday Boy. Now going to turn 1, braking a bit after the 100 meter board. Trying to get onto the curb, he does not touch that curb a lot. These corners with the right setup are all flat. People invalidate though on this exit, but he doesn't now, ending sector 1. He's almost a second up on his all time in 17.427. That's a pretty solid sector 1. Now going to the infamous straight where nothing happened in season 5. Down to 8th gear, DRS on, now 315 kilometers an hour, is going to 320, 325. 326 even, breaking up at the 50-meter ball, I think. Before that. A very tricky chicane where a lot of drivers, especially in Tier 2, lose a lot of time. Especially we will see some overtaking there and probably some crashes too. Now, going to turn... Oh wait, this is an outdated map. Ooh, and that's a tricky exit. It didn't seem the best, but it's a purple sector too. Now we're slowly going to the hotel section where our Lord and Savior GoTP made a simple mistake. Very easy to validate. It doesn't look like the most cleanest sector. He leaves a lot of room. He is not on the edge yet. It's a banker. But there's a lot of time to get there. Missed the apex. Doesn't touch the curb a lot. That's P7, but definitely there's so much more in that lap.
AFC Callum, meanwhile, went P5 through all that, so Frosty in the middle. But yes, Drifting goes P7 with 7 minutes 20 to go. He'll have one more chance. So Vortex and Will at the moment, currently 8th and 15th. Will currently on a lap heading down the straight before the chicane.
Right now, Ben having like always, a very bad qualifying. Qualifying is not his strongest point, but still, down in P14. Very disappointing.
But he loses out in quali. He always, most of the time, makes up for it in the races. Luigi this time remembers his ERS and goes up to P8, just behind Drifting then. See, AFC Callum has always put in some decent qualifying runs. It's his penalties that have been his downfall sometimes in the race.
Or that he's gonna grab dinner mid-race or something.
What was the other thing you were saying, Bram?
Or that he grabs dinner mid-race while I'm race engineering him.
Oh, right. So Cal down in P11 and across the line, I think that was Will to go 1.1 seconds quicker, but still 2.6 seconds off the pace. Currently down in P15. Ben still sits down in last at the moment, a 10th and a half nearly off his first sector time. So we'll carry on with him into the middle sector. Got yellows just into the final corner as he makes his way through the chicane. Just under 6 minutes to go then. And yeah, star time at the moment is Josh Hewitt. P2 at the moment. And I'm sure everyone would love to see him on the podium or fighting at the front. As Ben still just under a 10th and a half off his current time. Don't know if he has any ERS. No, he's still got a bunch of battery, so don't exactly know what's happening there. Oren in 13th at the moment, just heading into turn 5. Luigi, I'm sure he'll be heading into the pits. Optic has just improved to 9th to make it an Alpine 8th and 9th. Logan up to 5th, I didn't realise that. So, yeah, he's got his Red Bull exactly where he needs to finish. His teammate out-qualifying him at the moment. Ollie, 4/10 off Frozen's time as he heads through the final couple corners. I believe he's on a lap, but he's got traffic in front of the Aston, who will hopefully get out of the way. But he has to start his lap as well. So Ollie through the final corner now across the line. It's going to be a 22.6. He improves, but not enough to gain him any positions. It's so close to overtaking Josh, but it's not the front row for the Haas that has challenged Taze Frozen so many times this season for pole, and most of the time he has just missed out. So Frozen lives to fight on provisional pole for now. 4 minutes 40 to go, so Ollie can go in and go out again. Frosty Lights up by 400ths.
As we see Ben 94 just testing his car. I know ERS on 7 laps, so old softs, don't know what that's about.
Yeah,
Weird
still
strategy.
not using any. 3/10 down. Maybe he's just trying to get some practice in.
What a goat.
So Oren improved to 11th by a second, but still a second off provisional pole. Frosty, he's really close to his current time. Ollie disqualified, parked in a dangerous location. So that was, you could see that coming from a mile off. So he will start this race last in 16th. And that promotes the 2 Red Bulls up to 3rd and 4th. Callum up to 5th. And Oren into the top 10 now. So yeah, well done, Ollie.
Man thought he had a qualifying ban or something.
So it's going to need to be one of these 14 to have the lap of their season or even their league racing career to be ET Frozen on pole at the moment. Frozen himself has one more chance. AFC Callum out at the moment, down on his time. Oren, I believe, heading into the pit lane. Vortex up by a couple hundredths into sector 1 then. At the moment, they're just all in the pits waiting. Just over 3 minutes to go then in the final qualifying session of EXFL Tier 2 Season 7, as Callum has invalidated. So he will carry on. So I think that might be it.
He went really wide underneath the hotel section and invalidated because of that. Completely missed the curb. Lucky to not hit the wall there, in my opinion.
Cal on his outlap, about to start his final flying run of the season. We've got to watch out for drivers like him and Logan for next season. They are some of the favourites to challenge at the front, but obviously there are a few not racing tonight. And Vortex heading through sets 2 now, up by nearly 2/10, so this could get him up to potentially P9 as long as he keeps it within the confines. 2 corners to go then for the Williams, as a top 10 start on your debut would be a great achievement. Round the final corner, little bit of a slide, but across the line he is P4. What a final sector. He has found quite a bit of time to split the Red Bulls, and Vortex goes P4 then, just ahead of Logan by 13 thousandths as he now exits the pit lane with 2 minutes to go. Cal's still in the pit lane, now he exits it. So what about Oren? He's still in, Nathan's still in, Ben is just heading out now, so he'll be one of the last. Frozen in a world of his own, he knows he is world champion. He would love to stand on the podium as world champion in the final race.
The reason why Vortex has improved so much, got so much time in his third sector, because in his third run he almost spun in sector 3, so that has probably cost him around a second. He did get a purple sector 2 though, so there's still time to find, but I think that's qualifying out. But P4 on debut is not a result to be cross about.
And I think that'll be it then. Vortex P4 then. Brilliant debut. Nathan still in the pit lane with I think only a minute to go. So that'll be it for him. P13 at best. Will heading through the first sector. 10th just over down. As we're seeing Josh head through the final corner then. Frozen just further behind him. Callum behind him. So Josh Hewitt then crosses the line. He's got to make up just over 2/10. Into turn 1 goes the Aston Martin. He challenged in Tier 2 Season 4. He came back to Tier 2 to see what he was made of, to see if he could one day come back and challenge once again. This season has been a hard struggle for him as he's found a bit of time and he's slowly regaining that pace in the same team he fought for, and he's getting there slowly, but a podium in Season 7 would really do him well heading on to the next. But at the moment, as Callum's out, that'll be P12 at best for one of the McLarens. Heavy braking zone then for the Aston Martin. Hits the apex into the chicane. Once again, getting on the power. No loss of the rear. DRS wide open. And now he keeps it over to the left and invalidates because he went too far to the left. And you can tell just how angry he is because of that. And he's unfortunately just messed the lap up a bit too much. So what about Frozen then? Who will see that Aston in front of him as he found any more time. He's just up. Just about. As Optic goes P4 right at the end. They're all saving their best until last. Logan is down by just a bit. So any one of these guys could improve. But Callum is up by 2/10. So you never know what could happen. So Frozen has a couple corners to go. What about Frosty Life in P8 at the moment? Round the final corner. There's a Ferrari ahead of him. Luigi crosses the line. It's 9th at best. It's 7th for Callum. Frosty Life goes up to 3rd. And now it makes it an Aston. 2 and 3. Frozen crosses the line. Frozen improves to a 22-1. An absolutely phenomenal provisional pole. Drifting on his birthday goes 3rd as Callum rounds the final corner. He goes 5th. Logan goes 4th. Drifting is 3rd on his birthday. Vortex at the moment is up by a 10th. What can he do? We still want to wait for Oren as well as Will and Ben. What about Vortex then? Round the final couple corners. Ben, right at the end, makes himself where he is in the standings. He will join Frozen on the front row, unless Vortex, as he crosses the line, P5 on debut. What a debut for him. And Will, now round the final few corners, is invalidated, unfortunately. And Oren does some donuts. That is it. That is your final qualifying result of the season. It is 1st in the standings, alongside 2nd in the standings. Josh 3rd, drifting the best qualifying of his league racing Tier 2 career on his birthday. That's a brilliant treat. Vortex 5th on his debut. Logan has some work to do then. He can't finish there to get 3rd. He's got his teammate behind him, Frosty 8th. optic night. At one point, they were all up there, and at the end, they all finished right at the bottom of the top 10. We got the 2 Ferraris, Oren, Will in 14th, Nathan in 15th. Ollie will start at the back. But once again, for the 15th time, it is ETE Frozen on pole position.
Well done to the reigning champion in the McLaren for taking yet another pole. This man has just been unstoppable in qualifying through the season. Definitely, it's very exciting to see what he can do in Tier 1. I've seen him league race in different leagues as well, and I believe this man can seriously be a good contender for Tier 1 next season, not for the championship, but for a good midfield place.
He's got one more race to enjoy it, right to the front. And you never know what could happen in Tier 1, but we have got quite the race on our hands. And finally, for the first time in a while, Ben94 has a good qualifying. He's P2, and I'm sure he'll be very happy with that to take it right at the last. But yes, nearly half a second. Frozen has absolutely aced it. And Josh Hewitt, P3. It's still a great qualifying for him. It could have been that front row if he had just kept the lap together and not gone quite over to the left as much. But yes, stars of qualifying, Ben, drifting, Vortex, and I'd even say Callum getting into the top 10 is great. And shocker qualifying, probably, well, shocking no one really. Ollie will start this race from last. Callum, great job from drifting there. Showing sportsmanship, like always, is the McLaren driver, who will be staying at McLaren next season. And yes, we really hope drifting can maintain that.
In my opinion, it's me of the season. Ben finally getting a good qualifying. Just
would have been
anything
pole if
to
it
be
wasn't
that
for
daily 1-1.
Alex can't believe it. Drifting in P4. And now we wait for the drivers to load in. And let's hope and pray there are no glitches that we have to restart. Let's hope this is the actual thing. I've got the grid just in case, but yeah. They'll be doing their fuel loads, their final setup tweaks, their race strategy. I'm sure there's bound to be a safety car or two, but if there's not, it wouldn't surprise me. This is Tier 2, anything can happen.
There are about to be like 60 safety cars, I already know.
Everyone on the mediums, Cal on the hards, Ollie on the offs, so he'll be making his way up quickly.
But what's your top 3 prediction for this race?
I actually don't want to give a prediction. I hope it's the craziest race possible. It has been a magnificent season. And for one final time, the lights are out, the revs rise, and it is lights out and away we go. Taze leads away from Ben, then Josh, then drifting into turn 1. The Mercedes versus the McLaren. Taze round the outside, and we got drifting sideways, literally his name, as we got in the background. Logan dropping down. He has to finish 5th or better in this race, and now it's a comeback job with him and Oren right at the back. Into turn 5 we go. Josh Hewitt versus Ben for the lead of the race. Something happened with Taze on the inside of Josh. Taze sideways. Ben94 leads the Grand Prix ahead of Josh Hewitt. Vortex up to 3rd, and here comes Josh Hewitt then, blasting his battery for the lead of the race as they zoom past into the chicane. The Aston versus the Mercedes. The Mercedes switches to the inside. Frozen's had an awful start. Frozen has now got the opportunity to get Vortex as he goes deep. Frozen onto the back of his tyre, goes wide because of it, losing him more time as we got a yellow at the back of Ollie, who's trying to make his way up. Callum gets ahead of drifting, and now we see Taze on the inside. Goes AFC Callum, what a start from him. Down the inside, goes into Taze. Frozen, and that was fully his fault. Taze, nothing he could do as he goes wide himself because of the contact, and now we're seeing positions all gained. What a start from Callum as well, up to 6th. Luigi 7th, drifting down to 8th, but down the inside on Callum for 7th. Little bit of contact, goes sideways, and now we see his teammate watching this unfold. Frosty, Nathan versus Will, who's round, unfortunately. Logan gets another position then, and it's all kicking off in classic Tier 2 style. Josh Hewitt leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix then. Whoa, what an opening lap from Ben, who stays where we are. Vortex up to 3rd, Frozen. Something happened between here to turn 5 for him to lose 2 positions, as Ollie up to V11 then ahead of Nathan. Losing the rear a little bit there, but what an opening lap.
Josh Hewitt yet to win a race this season, almost won a championship back in season 4. He has not won a race in so long, and he is leading. Everyone wants to see him win, but can he actually pull it off today? Ben wants to do otherwise. Ben on the back of him. Ben looking for an overtake? No, not yet. Ben is staying behind and waiting for the moment to come.
Biggest gainer at the moment is Callum from P13 up to P6. It's been a magnificent start. Biggest loser at the moment is Logan. He's lost 7 places as we focus our attention back to the front. The top 2 just pulling away from Vortex. Frozen, not exactly on the back yet. A bit maybe shooken from the contact here on Callum, who just went straight into the McLaren side pod. And luckily there isn't side pod damage, otherwise Frozen would be in more trouble than he is at the moment. But 4th, he can make his way back up if he tries, as we see wheel to wheel here. Callum versus the Ferraris. We got Ollie once again dropping down the order on those softs, trying to make his way up, and once again it failing, as we see Luigi get ahead of Cal. Cal off there a bit, loses 2 places as Optic manages to get into P7. So then Ben 90%, Josh 50%, Vortex 62%, and Frozen right on the back of Vortex, who's probably going to be holding him up. But with DRS activated this lap, we could see a couple moves. As into turn 3 we go then. Josh Hewitt, I think, leading his first laps of the season. He could have led a few in Qatar. I think he actually did. So down into turn 5 goes Frozen then. And he may also pick up the DRS. He does. 2 streak ahead of Vortex, as Callum might even gain on the back of him too. But Vortex will be still within the slipstream to try and come back at the McLaren. The world champion versus one of the new debutants. Does Vortex send it on the inside? No, he stays behind for now. And Ben 94, if he can get a good exit, may just challenge for the lead. DRS open then in the slipstream. Josh using his ERS to stay ahead. Here comes Ben 94 then. Which way does he go? To the inside goes the Mercedes, fighting for the lead. Ben on the inside. And can Josh get the switch back now? Can Ben hold it round? They're going to go wheel to wheel for the lead of the Grand Prix. Ben edges his car ahead and Josh has to stay behind for now. Does he switch to the inside? No, he backs off. He's sensible with it. And now Cal's fighting to keep hold of 9th place as Drifting is right on the back of him. Frosty has got the pair of them. Drifting down the inside. Where is he going? He doesn't even know. Cal has to go off the track and drops down to 10th.
Ollie choosing a very aggressive strategy. Of course, he had to start from the back because of the disqualification. But choosing for a very aggressive strategy, blasting ERS, but he was over aggressive with overtaking. And that causes him to spin around 1 or 2 times, which means he has gained positions, but not as much as he likes. The Haas driver. This race is for him for fun, but still not the best right now.
Logan currently down in P11 then. He needs 5th to take 3rd in the standings. So he's got a hell of a job to do until Nathan spun, and that is a safety car. Nathan has spun at the exit of 3. Simple mistake really to make for a tier 2 driver, and that is it. That's his season over, that's the race over, and that is the first safety car.
First one of the day.
Yep, and Ollie can pit for new tyres if he wants.
Oh.
And once again, like classic tier 2 action, a mega opening start.
Breathtaking, lots of overtaking, some incidents. Like always something happens. Always. The Abu Dhabi start is always the most chaotic start of the season. Change my mind.
It is one of the most chaotic starts of the season. It's very interesting to see who will pit now, who will go long. Logan might need to try something different. He has the pace potentially to gain these places back. But yeah, I believe he lost it on his own exit of 1. He might have had some contact. But either way, he's got a job to do. Now, what do the leaders do? Ben in, Josh out. Ben has
Frozen
pitted.
also out.
So has Vortex. Interesting, so it's split decisions at the moment. Logan pits. He does try something different. Ollie in as well. Ollie drive through for speeding under the safety car. Will, what does he do? Comes into the pit lane. Yeah, it's a fair strategy to do. Oren has already pitted, same with Callum. And 5 seconds for speeding goes to Will on his debut. Well then, I'm going to get a quick drink.
Okay, right now Callum in a Red Bull. Now, it has been pretty quiet for him, but he is in the top 3 right now. The Red Bull driver, of course, not having pitted yet. That's definitely one massive factor in this. The people who have pitted are all 9th or below. Everyone in the top 8 has yet to pit. Everyone in the top 8 is still out. Callum, of course, winning a lot of positions on the start, has fallen back some positions. Right now in 8th, last of the people who have not pitted. He will be under a lot of pressure of Van 94 behind him in the Mercedes. Drifting right, good qualifying, of course, spun round in first corner. Now in P7, definitely not the worst, definitely he can still recover his race. Luigi and the Ferraris have not been up there this season. 10th in the Constructors, the Ferrari downfall people call it. But right now, they are 5th for Luigi and 15th for EFC Callum, who had a massive opening start. But he has pitted twice after that. He got into a collision. It's not his race at the moment, but he is still here. He is still alive. Unlike Nathan, who is our only DNF at this moment. Sorry, that was Dutch. The Williams right now in P16, of course, he's reserving for the Williams of either Marijn or Leighton, who's not driving today. E.T. Logan, 11th right now. That's pretty good. That's pretty good since he was, I think, last at the start. Ollie, I know what he's been doing. He's 12, but he could have been so much higher. Not the best for him at the moment. But Josh Hewitt still in first. The Aston Martin is still doing the trick. Yet to pit. He is choosing to extend those mediums, thinking it's too early for the hards. But he has E.T. Frozen, our reigning champion at the moment, right behind him.
Indeed he does. Callum decided to stay out on those hards when he started the race. We got Vortex, Logan, Ollie, Will, Oren and Callum who have pitted. Mainly Vortex is the main hard runner who's pitted, and then Logan. So this does bring Logan at least back to where Vortex is, and he was fighting for 4th. So that is good for the Red Bull. We had to try something different to maintain position. If they have to pit again, he can go longer, put the mediums back on, or a fresh set, or even softs, and potentially gain. His one biggest strength is not getting penalties and gaining right at the end when everyone else has. You never know if that could be a deciding factor. The only penalties at the moment is Ollie's drive-through and Will's speeding penalty, so no one's actually got a 3-second. As a safety car is in this lap then. Josh Hewitt will lead them away. We're going to see Josh versus Taze Frozen then. ET Frozen, so I say. And yeah, the safety car will head off. It's been an exhilarating start to the Tier 2 race as always, and Josh will now maintain the pace. We've lost Nathan, who lost it at turn 3, caused the safety car. It's an easy mistake to make for a Tier 2 driver, as Josh will climb through the gears, put the pedal on. The safety car's not exactly in yet, and he'll wait and choose when to go through the penultimate corner. Taze Frozen right on the back of the Aston Martin. When does he decide to go? Heading into the final corner. He goes now. So into the final corner. There's usually always chaos. Ben, 5 seconds for a collision with Cal.
Chaos at the back.
There's usually always chaos at an Abu Dhabi restart, but Josh into turn 1 then goes a bit deep as Optic seizes his opportunity to get ahead of the Ferrari, and into turn 2 and 3 now. Frozen right on the back of the Aston Martin until he loses it, and Frozen has to go off completely to make sure his car is facing forward and loses P2 to Callum, and now he may even lose P3 to Optic. Round the outside goes the Alpine, he's got no grip. Frozen has just got no grip and he's losing hand over fist here. He's got Luigi and Frozen right on the back. Callum gets a time penalty and Frozen now has to blast his battery. You can see every single car here plunging towards the end of the straight, and now Callum finds himself in second, and Frozen down on the inside has the Luigi forcing him wide. No, he's there. Frozen round the outside, a little bit of contact. Frozen nearly gets spun. A little bit of contact saves him as there's position changes happening everywhere you look. Callum up to 5th now, and Frozen somehow out of all that is still in 4th. Luigi up in 3rd into turn 9 then. Here we go. Can they all make it forward? Apparently, amazingly, statistically, unbelievably, they can. 3 wide versus 3 wide. Can you believe it? The Haas, the Alpine, the Williams nearly gets spun down the inside. A little bit of contact between Drifting and Callum. Wheel to wheel goes Frosty and Ben around the outside. Can you believe it? Brilliant racing, right on the limit. A little bit questionable at times. But yeah, Ben up in a 5th, has a penalty, and Frozen out of all that somehow survived in 4th place. But Luigi up to 3rd. Big gap to the cars in front.
Yeah, Ben having a very solid restart, going from P9 to P5, just finding the gaps when people collided and lost a lot of time. He did pick up a penalty, but right now it has been a good restart. At the moment he is 7 seconds with penalties behind Josh Hewitt, who is still in first.
Ollie down the inside of Cal for P7 then. He's making his moves, drifting ahead of Vortex until they're wheel to wheel. Going off there is Ollie. So once again, that's probably the 5th time he's been off the track. Logan, out of all that, is still in 11th, watching this battle play between Vortex and drifting. Remember, Ollie still has that drive through. And down the inside, here comes Oren on the inside of Callum. Callum gets ahead still. We're watching this unfold. And yeah, something happened to Optic. He was right up there fighting Frozen for P3, and then I'm guessing he's the only person out of all those battles to really lose a bunch of time. Ollie gets ahead of Vortex then, or stays ahead should I say. Callum and Oren still fighting wheel to wheel. He goes off a little bit, he comes back on, he's still fighting Oren. We're watching this unfold. The Mercedes versus the Ferrari, little bit of contact, and Oren drifts into the path. Cal goes around the outside to get back ahead, and that's the move done. And we'll go a little wide throughout all that. Optic will catch them. So, whoa, Frozen going massively off there. He's lost the place to Ben. Frozen just has no grip at the moment, and now he's lost a place to what at one point was the only person challenging for him for the title. Mathematically, he's down to 5th now. Frosty fighting Cal for 6th, and now he's got even more work to do as Luigi reeling Ben in to get DRS, but Callum finds himself in a unique position. If he can stick with Josh just about, then he has a potential to get onto the podium and maybe, just maybe, get that win, as Logan from 11th is now fighting up into 9th. He gets ahead of drifting. As we see Vortex getting ahead of Callum and Ben getting ahead of Luigi. So can Luigi get his braking right this time? Yes, he can indeed. Tay's right on the back of this. And Tay's just lagging a bit there. 41%, 26, 71. Yep, Tay's blasting his battery to try and get ahead of Luigi, but he's not close enough for any sort of move. We've got a yellow at the back, and it is Oren. Tay's down the inside, hits the back of Luigi, makes him go wide a bit, but Luigi will now get better traction to stay ahead of the McLaren. Tay's getting a little desperate now to try and get ahead into P4. Does he try a switch to the inside? No, he stays behind for now. And if he does, that means he'll get DRS because Luigi has dropped out of it for Ben. And now Optic. Frozen gets a time penalty. So I'm now another safety car because of Optic. Oof. He's lost his front wing, so the impact may have caused that. But yes, another safety car. Josh takes this opportunity to come in. So does Callum. So does Ben. Ben will serve his 5-second as well. As long as they don't speed. Ben, slow down. There we go. Luigi, then Frozen. Frosty in as well. Vortex will stay out to lead the Grand Prix. Callum as well to not double stack. Logan stays out because remember he pitted. So he's up to 3rd now. AFC Callum staying out as well. Josh Hewitt exits the pits on hards. They can go to the end. And so does Will. Will stays out in 5th as well. Bit more chaotic that difference from the first safety car to this one.
And now our rookie Vortex in the Williams is leading the Grand Prix on his debut race. That's not something we see every day.
So because Ben pitted, he has lost... Wait, what? Frozen...
He hit the wall and he probably got front wing damage from that.
Oh, is that why? So Frozen had a wing change. Ben had a penalty to serve.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely
Frozen
changed
probably
his wing,
caused
surely.
a safety car.
No, Frozen didn't cause it. It was Optic. He lost his whole front wing. So Luigi's gained back the place on Ben. That's literally all that's changed between those 5. Frosty has gained ahead of Frozen. Let's look at tyres. So Cal hasn't pitted. Vortex has. Logan has. Callum pitted a lap earlier for mediums. Ollie on new mediums. Oren on 1 lap old mediums. Yeah, this race is spiraling with different strategies. And Will's saying stop the clock now in P5. Logan says stop the count. He wants P3. Yeah, we got 4 drivers with penalties. Callum with a 3. The other Callum with a 3. Will has his 5-second. Frozen has his 3. Ollie did serve his drive-through, so that's good. So yeah, Frozen got a 3 sec. Let's check that now. Exceeding track limits on lap 1. Exceeding track limits on lap 9. Exceeding track limits on lap 9, which gave him the pen. And then he gets another exceeding track limits on lap 9 as well. Interesting.
Interesting.
There's no one pitting again. Who else? The other McLaren. Yeah, I felt like his was an instant one. Lap 7. Exceeding track limits, exceeding track limits. Wait, did he not get one before? Ah, here we go. Lap 1. Lap 7. Lap 7 again. Has he got any more? Oh my god, so much McLaren there. No, he can potentially get that removed. Callum in the McLaren. Potentially, maybe. As for the other Callum in the Ferrari, lap 2 and lap 7. Exceeding. Collision. Exceeding. Exceeding. Has he got any more? No. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, once again, Abu Dhabi restarts are quite chaotic, so if this one can be a bit less than the other one, that would be great. As Vortex, on his debut, leading laps, and now he has to lead this restart. Josh Hewitt led the first, down in 6th at the moment, got some work to do. As long as he just gets his angles right with his overtakes, he should hopefully not bottle this. He's been in so many high places, USA, Qatar, even a chance last week in Vegas. And they've always ended because of contact with another car. He's never actually really lost it on his own. So if he's out leading, you can guarantee, hopefully, he won't bottle it. But Vortex now...
Mad curse.
We'll wait for the safety car to come in then. There it is. Peeling off into the pit lane now. Vortex will keep them slow and steady. Just keeping his speed constant. And now we get going. As we head through the final corner now, Vortex leads them away then for the second restart. And this one's a lot better. So here we go then, Vortex from Cal, from Logan, from Callum, who's under pressure from Will, who's under pressure from mightily from Josh. And then comes Callum, Luigi, Ben, Frosty, and then Frozen. Trying to optimise Josh, already ahead of Will, who's crashed into the wall. Thought he was out of the race there. Something's happened there. What happened, Bram?
Yeah, Josh saw that Will was going really slowly and tried to overtake him. Will went a bit off track, I think, and Josh just flew best fast through him, and he rejoined the track. I think there was a bit of contact between those two. Not quite sure whose fault it is.
Well,
I'm not sure about that.
We'll see what happens. VSC is deployed, so that's the third kind of safety car we've had this race. So it'll calm things down a little bit until we get back under racing. Josh and Callum swapping for some reason. Will stopped typing. I don't know what happened there. Josh tried to move, and Will went into the wall. Somehow he's not out of the race, but he's got no front wing. As the VSC has ended, and Vortex leads them away. Then Cal, then Logan, Callum, Josh, Callum, Luigi, Ben, Frosty, and down the inside, Frosty versus Ben. Frozen watching this unfold. As they are inch nose to tail. Frozen goes off again. That's another time penalty for the championship winner. And does Frozen try any sort of move? Not quite. He's struggling. Is the world champion Ollie versus drifting for P11. And there goes Logan ahead of Cal because Cal's gone off. He's got no damage at the moment, but he drops all the way down to 6. Does he pit? Yes, he does. He comes in, and that allows Logan up into 2nd. 1.1 off Vortex at the moment. And Cal comes in then, has to pit. Something's gone wrong with him. So, into turn 2. Here comes Josh Hewitt down the inside of Callum. He does not want to stick a nose in there, but Callum gets it all wrong because of that. Spins round, and that lets Josh, Callum, Luigi, Ben, all the pack get ahead as Cal needs to get back in gear. He's lost it on his own. Josh pressurised him, stuck a wheel there, then backed off, and that made Callum spin. So Josh up in a P3 at the moment, but he's got Callum right on the back of him. Luigi, then Ben. Frozen on the back of Frosty Life. He's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining. Does he go for the inside? Not quite, so he stays behind for now. But on the inside is Ollie, wheel to wheel. A little bit of contact, but Ollie slides out, and that allows drifting to get ahead of the Haas. And now he drops down to P10. So Logan a second behind Vortex at the moment. Put it to tyres, the top 9 all on the hards, Ollie on the mediums, And now Ollie getting past Drifting into turn 9, down the inside, the Haas versus the Alpine, wheel to wheel as they approach the the final sector. And Drifting keeps his nose in there. Ollie goes around the outside, a little bit of a tag from Drifting, but Ollie has the inside now. Now he can close off the door, but Drifting carries it round the outside, still is there with Ollie, but Ollie gets ahead for now. 2 tenths between Ben and Luigi. DRS enabled then. Ben will be right on the back of the Ferrari, but he has to kind of stick with and not overtake until DRS to help him pull even further clear. But Luigi at the moment just within DRS reach of Callum, and Josh will be sure to get Logan, but Logan has caught a lot on Vortex to take the potential lead. We're approaching the halfway stage of the race. Logan was down in P15, nearly last on lap 1, turn 1. On lap 14, on the exit of 5, he could be seeing himself in P1. His teammate watching this behind. As here comes Logan then. Optic and Owen swapping for the lead of the race. Where does he go? He pulls to the inside on Vortex. Josh watching this unfold. And Logan at the moment takes the lead of the race. Little bit of lag as Josh trying to squeeze his way through the cars. As Logan and Vortex and Josh and Callum takes the lead because 3 cars have come together. And that's the Aston of Josh into Ben. Something happened there with Logan, Josh and Vortex. And now Luigi takes the lead ahead of Callum. And they're going side by side here. Frozen versus Frosty. Josh down to 5th. He's lost a position to his teammate. And Luigi now takes the lead. Everywhere you look, action happening. The Astons wheel to wheel and braking too late is Frosty Life into the back of Frozen, and now he gets the move done. Goes around the outside. Frozen forces him off. Josh down the inside trying to obtain that position. Gets ahead of Frosty Life. Action everywhere you look. 5 cars there. Down the inside is the Alpine of Drifting, still with Ollie going wheel to wheel for P7. They lock wheels, but they don't come together. Logan back down where he was in 9th. And Vortex, after leading, back down in 10th. And Josh didn't exactly lose a great deal like them, but he's down in 4th behind Frozen now. Did you see what happened, Bram? They all just looked like they just didn't want to go at the exit of the chicane.
I kind of saw what happened. Of course, Logan tried to overtake in the chicane there, went through the inside, and on exit Vortex, he just did
he
not,
lose the rear?
No, he just did not turn in fully, enough, and hit Logan, spinning Logan round, I think.
Whoa.
And yeah, and Logan was kind of clipped into Vortex.
Here comes Josh Hewitt then.
Josh he could not do anything. He was stuck there. And
Josh using everything he has on the inside now, the McLaren, as Taze did make a mistake, as there goes Callum on the inside, Luigi to take the lead. Frozen comes back at Josh. They're going to go wheel to wheel here on the exit of 9. The McLaren versus the Aston Martin. Frozen has the inside. Josh, will he switch to the inside? No, he'll stay behind for now. But now Callum becomes probably the 7th leader of the Grand Prix as we are just passing the halfway stage. As Callum leaves us the rear a little bit, but maintains P1. A DRS train all the way down to 8th. Logan has got some work to do. Especially them two, actually. They're on 10-lap-old hards. They got to pit again, surely.
Yeah. Like I was saying, and Josh could not get past the 2 cars ahead of him. And Callum just went to the left where Josh tried to get to. They almost made contact there, and that would have been race ending for both of them. But luckily, Josh just broke in time, causing the Red Bull and the Aston Martin not to collide. But because of that, he lost out on more positions.
Optic versus Vortex for P10. We look further to the front then. Here comes Luigi on 30. He's got double what Callum has to the inside as Ollie gets Frosty. The lead changes hand once again. Luigi fighting for the lead. Frozen on the back of Callum. Position changes as Ben now gets spun with Ollie. Something happened there. Now he's dropping down the order. And Ollie as well. Something's happened with him. So 2 big names dropping down as Josh versus Frozen once again. Here comes Callum on Luigi for the lead as well. Frozen, is he going to keep his nose in there? Yes, he is indeed, to come back at Josh as we get wheel to wheel for the lead and wheel to wheel for the final podium places. Who to watch? It's Luigi versus Callum. It's Frozen versus Josh into the corners. Frozen gets ahead of Josh into the technical part of the racetrack. Callum now gets a penalty in the lead. Frozen keeps ahead of Josh, who's got absolutely no ERS.
Jaden.
Yeah, yep.
Was this the first time we saw a Ferrari leading a Grand Prix this season?
Maybe. And it is good. It is a good omen for potentially next season for Luigi. as he's shown a lot of promise in the last 2 races that he could be up there, and you never know what he could achieve. But at the moment, he is fighting for the win. He's the only one of the podium at the moment to not get a penalty. And even if Taze gets the lead, he's still got to create quite a bit of a gap, as Frosty Life has held the back guys up a little bit as Drifting gets ahead, but Frosty with the switchback gets back ahead into 5th. Drifting up to Logan up to 7th then. He needs 2 more places to get 3rd in the standings, and we're seeing overtakes galore. Focus back to the front. Callum, once again, half of what Luigi has. A little bit of a tap. Luigi taps the back of Callum a little bit, and now Frozen has spun Luigi. So Frozen in a collision with Luigi, spins him round, and now Frozen on the back of Callum for the lead. And Josh Hewitt watching this unfold. He knows he can win this race with the 2 in front of him. Having penalties. Will spinning there, causing a yellow in the final corner. Into the pit lane he goes. So does Frozen try and move down the inside? Yes, he does. On Callum. Callum moves out of the way. So Frozen now takes the lead. And Josh Hewitt has to just back off for now, but he has to make sure he gets ahead as Will retires in the pit lane on his debut. Unfortunate to be in your first race and have to DNF, but now we focus back to the front as Frozen does take the lead then with 6 seconds of penalties. Callum with 3, Josh with none at the moment, and Frosty Life up in 4th, back ahead of Drifting. Logan in 6th, just needs 1 more position here as we have a yellow. And who's that for? It's still for Will. Right. As Frozen with no ERS. The top 3 pretty much the same here. Both of them flashing. Josh Hewitt will see his chance to try and overtake Callum, but Callum with DRS will try and get back ahead of Taze Frozen. Frosty versus Drifting, Logan versus Optic, and Luigi. Some of them will have to pit again, and that pit stop may come in the next couple laps. No change for the lead at the moment, as Frozen leads them at the moment. Optic gets ahead of Logan. Down the inside goes the Alpine. And the Red Bull still wheel to wheel. Logan at a tight angle here, but Optic round the outside and cleanly gets ahead. Great move as Luigi now opts to get ahead as well. And now maybe in the slip of Optic to try and have a move. We have an Aston 3-4, an Alpine 5-6 with a Ferrari right on the back. And Logan down the inside. Can he get back ahead of Luigi? Not quite.
Right now, Josh Hewitt technically leading the race since he does not have a penalty. He is on 2 warnings now. But right now, the Aston Martin driver,
is he?
no
Wow.
penalties ahead. Looking at the back of the Red Bull, it's just, you cannot overtake here. Smart from the Aston Martin driver, who I think just wants to play it safe. He knows he has the pace, he knows the penalties ahead, and the penalties are to come. Right now, Josh is enjoying life, as we see FC Callum getting 3-second time penalty.
So unlike last lap, Callum is not within a second of Frozen. He's actually created a bit of a gap here, so Josh needs to stay behind and then get him in the DRS. But he's still going to dive it to the inside and get the DRS as we pass the line. So Josh, being smart with it, now will get the DRS to fly away. But Callum will use everything he has to come back at the Aston Martin. But with the Aston, straight line speed with the DRS, can fly back ahead. Logan ahead of Luigi and Optic because something's happened there. Ben maximising to see if he can get 3 places here. There's 1, there's 2, and now he sees Logan for a potential triple overtake if he decides to be later on the brakes. He brakes normal and Logan stays in for now. So we look further back. Callum will have the DRS. Can he come back at Josh here? He goes to the outside. Josh will need to be later on the brakes if he's to keep second in the race. Callum round the outside of the Aston Martin, gets back ahead, and Josh will still battle this all the meanwhile. Taze Frozen leaves out in front. They're going to go wheel to wheel here. Callum versus Josh. Does he try a switch? No, he has to stay behind for now, which is helping Frozen. Luigi versus Optic for 9th. Stays ahead for now. Josh now 3 seconds, which is a real nail in the coffin because he needs 3 seconds within Frozen. At the moment it's 2.6, and unless there's another safety car, Frozen doing well at the moment, but he's still under investigation for quite a few things. The main one at the top of my head is the one with Luigi, which is the most recent one. Ollie and P10, his mediums are surely going to be going off soon with 9 laps to go. Vortex down in 11th, has to pit. Logan as well, 15 lap old hards. He's going to be praying for a safety car as he is leading quite the train. Frosty and Drifting fighting for 4th and 5th. Drifting on the inside, having a great race on his birthday. If he could get P4, that would be brilliant. If something happens at the top and he gets a podium, that would be amazing. And considering the penalties for the top 3, you never know. Drifting's the first driver without a penalty at this current point. Josh versus Callum for P2, still battling it out. Callum over the curb. This will allow Josh to get all the impotence he needs to blast his battery, turn the DRS on and go to the inside, but he's not in the slip of the Red Bull. He just wants to get past him at the moment. To the inside then, Josh versus Callum, and Josh gets the move done. Drifting. Whoa, drifting and Frosty Life. Frosty Life just forces drifting off there, right to the edge, and drifting has to try and make his way back ahead, but that was a bit over the limit from Frosty, really aggressive to get the move. Ben is ahead of Logan now into 6th. Frosty 3 second now as well, so yeah, drifting. Now it is the first car without a penalty. Callum versus, oh there's another one, we caught that. Callum versus Oren as drifting gets ahead of Frosty as he's in. Frosty in. On 10 lap old halves.
Josh and Callum still battling and pushing like crazy. Both keep losing the rears, both keep overtaking each other. But they are losing time to ET Frozen, who is not in the penalty race at the moment. So at this moment, on track, it's Frozen at this moment to win at this rate. But Stu Wording may as well spoil that, but we are not sure. And Frozen is technically now leading the race. Officially.
It'll all be decided after in the post-race stewarding. Here comes Callum on the inside. He backs off for now. You'll probably get him after this chicane. But yeah, Josh just 9/10 off Frozen after penalties. But even if it's not the win, if it's a podium for Josh Hewitt, he will love that still. He's been fighting for one all season. And in the final race, you usually find people who fight all season for something do get it when it comes to the final race. And at the moment, it's working for Josh with just 9 laps to go. Drifting ahead of Ben, ahead of Logan. Remember, Logan needs one more place unless he gets fastest lap, but on 16 lap old hards, that's quite unlikely. So he needs one more place to get 3rd in the standings. At the moment, he'll be level with Lightan for 3rd, but due to Lightan having 3 wins to Logan's 2, Lightan will take it. As Ben sliding out there, Logan going off a little, that might be a warning. It's a 4-car train here as drifting, like I said, has been having a great run of form recently, getting higher and higher up the field as Frosty now starts to make his way through as Callum goes off there. 9 seconds, most of anyone at the moment. Cal 17 seconds off. So even if these guys pitted, they would find themselves around about where the McLaren and Haas are, as Ollie goes round the outside to get ahead into P9. And Callum still sticking with Josh. Josh just can't match Frozen's pace at the moment. Fastest lap goes to Vortex then as he gets ahead of Callum, who's falling ever down the field. Here comes Callum then. Not quite close enough for a move. If any of the drivers are listening to the stream, remember we are doing donuts after the race. Hope everyone's tuning in, having a good evening tonight. We've got 7 laps remaining of this World Championship race and the World Championship season. Both titles have been decided. Itty Frozen is the World Champion, McLaren are Constructors Champions, and Josh at the moment just wants to stay in 2nd as Callum. A little bit of the rear loss there. Has to stay in 3rd. Callum gets back ahead of Vortex then for 10th. And Logan, if he can make those tyres go to the end, that would be a phenomenal job. They would be 24 laps old, as they're 5 laps older than everyone around him. He just has to hope that one more position gets gifted to him. And if there is a safety car, I wouldn't doubt that every one of the top 8 would pit. And we usually do get an end of race, an end of season safety car around about now with 6 laps to go, but you never know who could cause it. And even if there will be one, Oren on softs, Callum in 13th, Frosty down in 12th pitting, same with Callum and Vortex. Ollie yet to pit, he's just in no man's land at the moment. And then there is quite a train, but Ollie fastest lap, he could gain enough if these lot battle. And there's Frosty, they're trading fastest laps, 25-0. 2nd ahead of the leaders. Actually, Josh's fastest lap and Callum's are quicker than Taser's.
That's sick.
Not a great exit there for Callum, so Josh will live to fight one more DRS straight. Frozen back where he was, leading the Grand Prix. He lost it after just a couple corners and then had a mega fight with pretty much everyone from 1st down to 9th. Found himself in 4th, up to 3rd, little collision, and then gets himself into 2nd and then 1st, and then leading by 4.3 seconds. And then Josh Hewitt definitely having the race of his season at the moment, but there's still 6 laps to go. Callum 3 seconds drifting at the moment. Not going to gain anything, but it's still P4, 1.3 ahead of Ben, who's now going to be under pressure from Logan as there's no DRS for him. But Logan is really under pressure from Luigi. Because Logan just can't do anything. He has to stay out. He can't pit. He has to just hope those tyres carry on as Ollie gets a 3 second. He's been pushing too much. So 4th down to 8th are the ones left as Vortex has left. There we go, right. Optic on the back of Luigi then. Does he try? And he sort of said no. And Logan's really dropping behind Ben, who's nearly back within as wheel to wheel there, Luigi and Optic. That's given Logan a bit of breathing room. Here comes the Ferrari then, into P7, blasting his battery. No one's got a yellow light, so all good. As Callum pits for softs. Is Callum close enough to try and get ahead of Josh? It'll be a mega send from here, but not quite close enough. Drifting is now under pressure from Ben. Ben, who's saved up his ERS, he's probably one of the best drivers on the grid to do that. As Vortex is back in, has closed back to behind Drifting, who's really struggling here. Logan just having to survive at the moment. He needs something to happen ahead. He just needs one place. Very familiar to 2008 in the final race. A bit reminiscent of 2.5 years ago. Of someone needing P5 here to win the championship by a point. This time it's for 3rd in the standings, but it will mean a hell of a lot to Logan. I'm sure of it. He's going to be the lead driver to head into next season, highest in the standings after all the Tier 1 guys, after all the Tier 2 guys get promoted to Tier 1. But he's 9/10 currently behind Ben. If he falls outside of a second, that gap is going to be quite worrisome. The gap has stayed constant between Frozen and Josh Hewitt, as well as Callum. The gap is getting bigger between Drifting and Ben. Ben, who got spun quite a few laps ago, has been all around the grid. At the front, at the back, in the middle, and now he's making his way back up into 4th as Drifting will go to defend, and Ben with DRS, he might wait until the 2nd straight. He's got plenty of ERS to use. Drifting brakes, Ben tries the switch, gets a better exit, and this time round he will have the DRS. Callum looks a little closer, and will he try around the outside? No, he brakes, doesn't get the move, but here comes Ben then to go around the outside and switches to the inside. What an opportunistic move from the Mercedes there. Drifting going to still give him a run for his money, and Drifting now gets back ahead. Absolutely brilliant from the pair of them. That was so on the money for Ben. 1 inch further and he could have hit the back of Drifting and taken him out. As Ben loses the rear after all that, there's the position Logan needs. He goes into 5th and he gets the move, and now Ben, after that mistake, allows Logan up into 5th. And does Drifting give Logan the DRS potentially to keep him into 5th? This is a mega battle from 4th all the way down to 8th. The 2 Alpines, the Red Bull, the Mercedes and the Ferrari. Optic stays ahead of Luigi, and Callum is looking a little closer to Josh at the moment. 14. Frozen's just saved none of his ERS, blasting whenever he can. Don't blame him. 5-car battle then to end the season. This is brilliant, as Logan, for the first time since he was up there and then got in the collision, is in the position he needs, but his tyres must be screaming, as Callum does get ahead of Josh. 21 laps now for them two. Josh will fight back at Callum. We'll look back to the battle here. Down the inside, there goes Ben, there goes Optic, there goes Luigi, watching all this unfold. Optic round the outside, now ahead of Ben. So the more they fight, the better for Logan, who's just got to blast his battery as Josh gets back ahead of Callum. It's a great scrap for 2nd. It's a great scrap from 4th all the way down to 9th. All the way down to 8th. Oren 3 second, wheel to wheel here. Ben on the inside, back ahead of Optic. This is absolutely brilliant racing as Luigi sticks his nose in as well. Bit of contact with the Alpine, but no one's spinning. All fair. And Drifting just in front of Logan. Drifting moves out. Logan has to go round. Drifting forces Logan off. This allows Ben to get back ahead of Logan. Logan round the outside goes Ben. They're going wheel to wheel. They've had some brilliant battles this season. Have this Mercedes and this Red Bull. They go wheel to wheel for the final couple corners. Ben versus Logan. Logan needs this for P5, but Ben has the inside. He forces him onto the curb, but Logan gets back at Logan now loses a place to Ben and may even lose a place to Optic round the outside. He's trying his best and dives it to the inside, forces Optic off the track. Optic spins into the wall. and loses a bit of his front wing. And Logan has caught himself in a collision. He forced Optic off, and now Optic in the wall with no front wing. And that's Optic out of the fight. Drifting versus Ben now for P4. Logan back down in 6. Everyone is under investigation now. And Frozen has the gap to 5 seconds, so if you can get it to 8, you never know. We've only got 3 laps left of this race. 3 laps left of this championship. Ben finds himself back up in a 4th. Drifting sends it. He wants to hold on to 4th. Ben inches away as Logan has been spun right at the end. They're all going so slowly there, and Logan got caught up in it with Logan, and Ollie has caught the pack amazingly. And Luigi and Ben and Drifting all battling there. Ben gets back ahead of Drifting then for P4. Luigi down in 5th. Ollie over the curb there. He has a penalty, remember, as Logan is just going to have to hope and pray for something. But he has 4 cars in front of him going wheel to wheel. Ben and Drifting going off there. Drifting gets a penalty due to it. So Ollie ahead of Luigi. Ollie may even get Drifting. Drifting loses the rear. What a move from the Haas of Ollie to get up in a 5th. He's been a bit off his form in recent races, but he's proven right at the end why he's going to tier 1. What a drive, what a stint has been from the Haas to maybe find himself in P4 now. As we're going to see Callum and Josh fight for 2nd and 3rd on track. It seems like Frozen at the moment will win the Grand Prix. On to the penultimate lap then. 28, lap 28. Oren's left. Callum 3 seconds for speeding. Here comes
This
Josh.
battle between Callum and Josh has been going on for the entire race. It might as well be for the win, but that's for stewarding to the side. There's just no... They're just on the same pace, and they just keep swapping places. This is definitely a good contender for battle of the season. But we're now in the penultimate lap, and Callum is leading. But Josh is probably going to attack into this corner where we've seen them switching places a lot of the times. But Josh doesn't. Josh is waiting for the last lap, so he probably cannot be overtaken anymore. But Callum loses his rear. That means a better exit for Josh, but Josh doesn't overtake here. Josh is very pumped through this section. He almost hits the rear though. But
Ben 94
right
and Ben 94 and Ollie nearly come together. Ollie has the better tyres, but Ben has the ERS. Josh has the ERS, unlike Callum. Just about. We're on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, the final lap of this World Championship. And ET Frozen, like he has been for so much of this season, leads out in front. Callum versus Josh could be for the win, you never know. Ben 94 versus Ollie, they're both going to tier 1 next season. They'll fight for P4. Drifting versus Luigi, they'll fight for P6. Logan just has to hope and pray that he gets P5 after all of this. Into turn 5 for the final time. Josh will size up the move with a double helping of DRS. He blasts his ERS now to try and get ahead of Callum, who's going to see if he lets him go or not. And we're going to see into turn 5, Ben versus Ollie. Ben going wide to let Ollie go, but Ollie will now have the DRS2 streak clear with enough ERS save that he may have actually pulled off P4 here into the chicane now. Josh has to get the greatest exit he's had all race. It looks pretty good. Little bit of a slide. Now it's time to blast the battery. Callum may have just got P2 here. Josh just seems a bit too far behind, but with blasting the DRS, you never know. Will he send it? Not quite. Callum holds on to 2nd. Here comes Ollie and Ben then. Here comes Ben, but once again, I think just like Josh and Callum, he's a bit too far behind. Ollie goes defensive when he doesn't even need to. But here we go, Luigi versus Drifting. Drifting carries it round, but Luigi may have the place, but Drifting on his birthday has still got some fuel left in the fire to get back up in a P6 to go in wheel to wheel round the final corner to cap off a brilliant season. Taze Frozen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Behind him comes Callum and Josh to finish 2nd and 3rd. Ollie will get P4 after a brilliant stint. Ben P5. Luigi on the last lap did manage to get ahead of Drifting, and Logan pushing right to the end is going to have to hope as Drifting goes off there. Ollie 4th. Ben gets 4th because of Ollie's penalty. Luigi 6th. Drifting 7th. Logan, he gets 7th. Drifting down in 8th. Frosty 9th. Vortex will come home in 10th. Callum, unfortunately, will be no points. The other Callum 12th. Optic 13th, fighting Oren for 14th. 2.3 seconds then if Frozen is to get a penalty and Callum hasn't been involved in anything. You could be looking at a new race winner here of Callum H. Josh Hewitt, for the first time all season, gets the podium he wanted. Ben 94 gets P4, Ollie P5, Luigi P6 for Ferrari, Logan P7. He is 3.2 seconds off Ollie and Luigi for P5. You never know what could happen in post-race stewarding. a great race to round off the season. And at the moment, yeah, Taze Frozen, world champion and race winner. And I think that's deserved. Driver of the day goes to Ollie. Last to 5th.
Very solid.
Just can't stop. You just can't take a breath at all with this tier. It's amazing.
Bro, I just coughed up like insanely. I just could not hold it in anymore. But what an amazing way to finish off this season. 2 debutants, 1 unfortunately DNF'd, and Vortex. He had a pretty good race, but still a point. I think a point for what he has shown today is definitely not good enough. Here we have. Okay, let's just the top 10. Vortex, 10th. Pretty disappointing. He had a lot of pace to get more than that. Frosty Light here in P9 was running in P4 the entire race. Just the tires fell off and he fell off with that too. Drifting on birthday P8. He did not have the pace just simply to keep up with the lads in front. P8 is still a really good result on his birthday though. Logan probably getting a penalty, but we're not counting that right now. Logan right now in P7, not enough to clinch third in the championship. Stays in 4th behind Chess, who had a pretty poor second half of the season. Luigi P6, a very good result from the Ferrari driver. Ferrari never that high. Very well done. 6th is also what Ferrari finished last season here. Ollie 5th in the Haas, from last to 5th, 16th to 5th. Very well done. Drive through everything. He made himself more difficult than it has to be, but a really good race from him. Ben in 4th. He had pace to maybe win it, but he just got stuck behind traffic, spun around, nothing you could do. Very unfortunate. Then we have, at this moment, Josh 3rd. First podium of the season. Well done to him. Deserved more in my opinion, but 3rd is definitely a very solid result. Callum, 2nd at the moment. Might as well win the race, but we're not sure. Very well done to him. I think he also has not got a podium this season and in his career as well here in EXFL. So first podium, maybe even first win. Wouldn't be the first time we saw a rookie victory here at Yas Marina. Very well done to him. And then ET Frozen, once again, taking another race win. Well done to him. He shows why he's a champion and why he can cope with these conditions. But snowboarding has yet to be decided.
Has indeed. Let me just do this real quick. Right, I'll invite Frozen and Callum. Can't find them for some reason. So I'll just, yeah. Oh wait, yeah, Callum and Josh are both on, not on Xbox, are they? Sorry, what? Oh, okay, okay, just take us through that race then real quick. It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think I had the piece at the start of the race. It fell all the way back down to like P5 onwards. It was definitely wasn't the best, and then obviously then I got the 6 seconds altogether. It just didn't work out in my favour, but somehow near the end of the race I found a bit more pace, and with a couple of incidents between some drivers ahead of me, I was able to slip through and take back P1 and just pull away. To be honest, with Josh and Callum behind it really did help me, to be fair. But I think they're having a really good battle because we're both really close the whole race. But yeah, I'm happy that I finished this season off with a win here, a very dominant one as well. But I'm interested to see what I can do in Tier 1 next season.
Indeed, yes, it's been a thoroughly magnificent, dominant season from you. A worthy world champion that, yes, will go to Tier 1. One of the most successful and most enjoyable seasons to watch. And for you to become world champion, absolutely brilliant stuff with McLaren. Any final word as the reigning world champion for Tier 2 this season?
I mean, it's been fun the whole season, and I've definitely not been absolutely destroying the grid. I've been fighting with the drivers, which is still a bit. It's interesting. Didn't win the championship by a huge country mile. It was good to see some of the drivers still trying to fight me. But yeah, I mean, it's been a good season, and I just hope I can continue good results in the tier 1 next season.
Indeed. All right, if you have to go, then go, and we will see you in Tier 1 next season. Thank you so much. Your Tier 2 career has been phenomenal. You've given us something special to watch in the last 6 months, so thank you very much. And
Yeah, thank you very much, mate.
enjoy the off season. You deserve it.
Cheers, thank you very much.
In a bit, and we will get
In
the
a bit.
donut session ready. You're not sticking around for it, I don't think, or do you? I don't know. Oh, he's left. That doesn't matter. Oh well.
I'm taking a
Um,
seat.
Fair enough. Right. Let me just quickly check if anyone else is joining. It won't be too long, I don't think. I think Josh needs an invite.
They do not realize that bonus is one of the most fun things of the season, man. Disappointing.
Oh, that's what Tay said. That's what Frozen said. He's got to go eat. Oh, okay. Right, there's Josh. I think Luigi's joining. Oh, yeah, there's Frozen. There's Luigi. Alright, a few minutes until we ready up for donuts. Brown, press spectate. I think that's good. Thanks for reminding me, Callum. Right. Yeah, gotta sort the settings. Right, I think just a minute to go. That should be good. Right then, we will have 8 drivers for the donut session. Callum in Ferrari, the 2 Red Bulls of Callum and Logan, Ben in the Mercedes to see out his final Tier 2 race. Same with Ollie, same with Frozen, Luigi in the Ferrari, Josh Hewitt to do some donuts after getting his first podium all season. He is over the moon. And here we go then. They've got to pick their strategies, their tyres. Oh yeah, I should probably tell them put minimum. Actually, it doesn't matter about the fuel because it's 100% race. Never mind. Alright, here we go then. The donuts can begin. The 5 lights, come on. For donut time. Revs rising, wheels turning. And here we go then. Donuts have begun. Maybe I should have probably turned ghosting off. Yeah, maybe we should retire. Or not. Yeah, none of them have seen the message. Oh well. I think Logan said him and Taze are doing a lap of honor or something, even though they're not together. But oh well. None of them have seen the message, so I'll just unsend that. If they want to carry on with this, they'll carry on.
My opinion, we need multiple. In my opinion, like just for a picture, we need to have all the tier 2 champions once just driving like a lap, just all side by side, all 7 now, except the ones who have, of course, have probably left and cannot get connection with anymore. It'll be fun.
There you have it then, AFC Callum. Another season. Now Ferrari, let's see what we can do next season. Logan doing donuts on the start finish straight in the wall there. But here's the main man, the world champion, ETE Frozen. One of the most successful seasons we have seen in EXFL. Crowns off and caps a magnificent 22 races. It's the double McLaren, drivers and constructors. And with Logan, one of his great friends, to do donuts with him. unison. There we go. Ollie, it's been a great season for him as well. He will join them on the start-finish straight to do some donuts. Callum, he may be the potential race winner, so he will also do some donuts. Ben 94, another brilliant debut season that sees him see it all through. Second in the standings. We'll be going to Tier 1 next season for Ferrari. And these are classic Tier 2 donuts. They're not proper, but they're still great. Alright, no worries. In a bit. Just waiting for Ben to retire. Alright, there we go. Seems like those were the donuts then. Oh well, still got Logan. Right, we'll get the world champion and Logan in. You there, mate?
Yeah, Mario.
You loading onto F1?
Yeah, I am.
Alright, cool. Yeah, we'll end the I didn't wait, what? Oh, okay. Yep, just a bit of extra for the stream. Just gonna end it off seeing one of the star drivers of this season, Logan, and the world champion of Taze doing donuts. Let's have better donuts because I saw Logan hit the wall like 10 times.
I found my momentum.
What you have to do is just it needs to be a balance of both the brake and the
Yeah, I
accelerator.
do.
Just have
That's what I do.
have a bit more accelerator and brake and go right in the middle.
Yeah, I
and
had
it'll be a
bit
great
more
shot.
balance at the end because
I-
I was trying to do a one hand and then just kind of spin it round, but I just
Yeah.
wasn't getting the balance. Neither
I was just
did I in
I
the
was
race
using
either. but
3/4
oh
of-
well.
I was just using 3/4 throttle, to be honest.
Let me. If I lag out of the party, that means that I probably won't be able to hear you. So
Alright, no worries.
if I can't hear you, then just know that
Alright,
I've
there we go.
switched the counts. That's it. All right.
Alright. Yep. Alright. Ready up?
Ready up, please. You just can't ready up,
You're
nice.
still loading in, Taze.
Is it?
Yeah,
am I?
you're still loading in. Yeah,
Well,
I'll let you know
but-
when you.
Well, apparently I picked my car. But,
Yeah, you have picked your car. There you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
There we go. Okay.
I think it's lagged them out. I'll give them a number back.
Yep.
Why not call him as a friend on this account?
There we go.
I don't even have him on my. I
Right,
don't have him as a
If
friend. on my account.
Logan, if you can
Right.
ready up, Logan. I think I invited him. It's all good. Right. Here we go then. Donut session between Logan and Frozen.
Oh yeah, I should do that. He's been a great help to be
What
fair.
crew vase?
He's he's been good. He's been good help, yeah.
Shout out to Crew Vase then. Race Engineering, Taze Frozen, then to ETE Frozen, and then to World Champion and Constructors Champion. You may as well advance. There's no need to put a setup on.
Yeah.
When you said you did a lap of honor,
We just
wouldn't it be more? Wouldn't it be better just to go wheel to wheel for the whole
Yeah,
lap, and then
good
when you
point.
go on to the wheel to wheel the whole lap, and then when you get to the start finish straight, then do donuts.
we did at
I
the
think
end,
that works.
but just because he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go then. Let's pretend Taze Frozen has just crossed the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. 20 seconds behind is Logan. Taze has kindly waited for Logan. The revs rise. You going? There we go.
Woohoo!
Let's go. Actually, we don't need that. Yep. Right, into turn one, wheel to wheel. Taze, may as well carry on the interview. What is the highlight of the season for you then? What's the highlight? Your favourite moment?
I'm not. To be honest, it's probably breaking the pole record. To be honest.
Wow.
It's quite excited to do that, and obviously then finishing off the season with 15 altogether was also pretty good achievement to be fair. But
It was amazing.
yeah, it was probably one of the highlight standout moments.
Logan, what about you? What about Austria? Fair enough. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. It has been a brilliant season. Tier 2 couldn't be in a better place, and we're going to be extremely sad to not see Taze, Chaz, Ollie, Ben, Lightan on the grid next season. But while we have the world champion alongside him is someone who is going to be challenging, hopefully, for Tier 2 Season 8. Logan, what are your thoughts heading into next season then? You didn't at the moment get third, but it's still fourth in the championship. You finished 6th, I think, last season, 7th. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you found yourself in first at one point, and then like there was a 3-car collision. But you still made your way back. You were struggling on really old tyres, to be fair to you, 5 laps more than anyone around you. You held on, and then that little spin at the chicane, but you never know what post-race stewarding could endure. As we head round the final corner then, a star this season, and the crown of this season. Logan and ET Frozen. Bring home the donuts.
Oh,
Brilliant.
ghosting is definitely not on. That's a shame.
Yep.
He's doing a sort of awful
There
little
we go.
move.
There's the smoke. There we go, Logan. There are the images. Well done, Taze Frozen. Well done, ET Frozen. Well done, Jay Greenaway. You are the Tier 2 Season 7 World Champion. McLaren are Constructors Champions. It has been one of the best seasons to witness. One of the best seasons to drive in. One of the best seasons we will remember for a long, long time. And we will see you next season. With some in Tier 1, some in Tier 2, but they'll both be there for everyone to see. I've been F1 Union. Goodbye for now.